before I got real big, I had to start small.
When people try to get gains quickly, it usually turns into a disaster. From muscles exploding on stage to fake abs and bloated builds thanks to oil injections, these bodybuilders went way too far. Edward Goor. Meet Edward Goor from Belgium, a man of many hats. He started his journey as an athlete, flexing muscles as a bodybuilder, strutting on runways as a model, and dodging danger as a Hollywood stuntman. For a whopping 15 years, he relied on steroids and other drugs to beef up his physique. But like a plot twist in a blockbuster movie, these drugs had some nasty side effects. Think high blood pressure and low oxygen levels. The wake-up call came at 1997 when Edward was rustling dinner in his kitchen, and bam! He had a heart attack that stopped his ticker cold. He fought tooth and nail, undergoing countless surgeries to stay in the game for a bit longer. But as they say, all good things must come to an end. Despite his valiant struggle, Edward shuffled off this mortal coil in 2015. Barack. Sometimes when you already have a perfect body and perfect health, people around you can make you go southways to desire more than what you already have, which leads to what we call a horrible result. This happened to a guy named Barack, who initially had a great body physique with perfect abdominal muscles, legs and shoulders, but still, he was not satisfied with one of his body parts: his arms. His desire to get to society's beauty standards made him get his arms injected with steroids that would make his arms look more muscular. He even went to get some face surgeries to make his face a bit more equal to the beauty standards of this world. After undergoing these horrible procedures, Barack did obtain his perfect body as he desired, but not for long. Soon enough, his body started to react to the steroids injected into his body. He observed that his arms began to have lumps and nodes of hardened steroids, which resulted in him feeling pain from them. And finally, he decided to seek medical assistance for his case. The doctors advised him to take a break from the steroids and go through medical procedures to help out with his problem. Greg Valentino. Greg Valentino is a worldwide famous pro athlete, fitness guru, and media personality who's appeared in tons of movies and top TV shows. Check out Greg Valentino's arms and you'd immediately think, that can't be natural, and you'd be spot on. He wasn't using natural methods at all. Greg juiced up certain types of testosterone straight into his arm muscles to pump them up. As you've already seen, that's not a bright idea. His shots caused an infection, which he tried to fix himself and screwed up, landing him in the hospital. His arms nearly blew up, which is pretty freaking horrifying to think about, but it went down. Steroid use is a risky game when not done right, and you'd have to be pretty damn desperate to try to operate on yourself. Kenny O'Neill. As far in the list, we also have Kenny O'Neill, a Canadian bodybuilder. Now this case is far different from other cases. This guy didn't put any steroids in his arms or butt, but rather in his shoulders. Well, if we take a look at him, it's clear that his shoulders are bulging out a little too unnaturally. In the 2016 Vancouver Bodybuilding Championship, pics of Kenny were published on the internet showing his too unnatural shoulder build. Now, Kenny insisted on his statement that he did not use any kind of steroids, but the fans were a bit too quick to search out his pics before and after the competition. Kenny at first again stated that it was actually the lighting of the stage, but later, when there was a lot of backlash to his statement, he finally admitted it was due to an infection from him injecting too much testosterone in his muscles, causing his shoulders to swell that much. The bodybuilder who burst his oils on the stage. Another video on the internet made its way to give the viewers goosebumps after a contestant in a bodybuilding competition accidentally had his flappy steroid-filled arms burst in the middle of the show. At first, The competition seemed pretty normal, and all the contestants were posing and flexing their perfectly filled bodies until one of the contestants posing to show off his biceps popped up his steroid-filled muscles right on the stage. Well, if it was him, I would have freaked out if my shoulder suddenly popped and oozed out the oil like that, but this guy handled it way better than most of us. Ziz. Now, this guy earned respect from numerous people due to his amazing workout journey and coaching. But his muscular body and sudden changes in physique led to people wondering if it was all natural or steroid-filled muscles on his body. Although Ziz denied using steroids, the community was skeptical about his statement. Later on in his life, many people believed that his body physique changed drastically in a short amount of time, but till the end, Ziz kept denying using any sort of steroid. After a few years, when he was on a vacation trip, he went into a sauna, and that was his last ever memory of his life, as he passed away due to a heart attack. He was immediately taken to the hospital, but he couldn't be saved, and unfortunately passed away. That's where the fans assumed that it was steroids in his body that killed him in the sauna, as the heat affected his body functions, triggering the steroids and ultimately killing him. Sajjad Garibi. Sajjad Garibi posted his massive body pictures on the internet and his Instagram account, where fans were shocked with his muscular build. He became an internet celebrity in a short amount of time. Known as the Iranian Hulk, Sajjad became one of the top most liked bodybuilders in the workout community with millions of followers. But when a fight was scheduled between him and a British giant fighter, Martin Ford, spectators eagerly awaited the match with complete passion. However, this wasn't precisely what it appeared, though. He was smaller in business than appeared on social media. Although he looked way taller on social media, actually he was just 6.2 in height and about 300 pounds. Now, this saddened his admirers, and his reputation was destroyed. But to Sajjad's luck, Ford withdrew from the fight concerned about Sajjad's health, and Sajjad also delegated all his photoshopped pictures from social media. Darren Lyons, the guy who got fake abdominal abs. Now, in the world of fame and imagination, another daring person was seen faking his muscles for the sake of his image. In an American show, Darren Lyons appeared without a shirt on, and his abs were, oh well, greatly defined and well-toned. Now, that could have been normal if he wasn't a 46-year-old man. Even more than this, the other parts of the body were completely different from his abs and abdomen muscles. This led to the fans criticizing this guy, so basically what they assumed this guy did was surgery on his abdominal muscles, removing any sort of fat sac underneath the muscles and getting an increase in muscles, causing his abs to seem more defined and prominent. Khan Baba. Another on our list of fake muscles is one of the most discussed sensations on the internet. Khan Baba from Pakistan was the center of many social media users, as this man claimed to be the strongest and biggest guy in the world. In his interview, he clarified that he had always been large, but as he grew, his body continued to enlarge. Now, this guy is a direct prey of social media bullying, as people claim that he is not actually big and is wearing a suit underneath to fake his muscles. In many interviews, he claimed that he could kill a person with one punch, but his physique seems extremely unnatural. His body physique seems like that of someone who is wearing a huge bodysuit, and Khan Baba has never been engaged in an actual fistfight and just claims to be the strongest. Now, if you truly watch his other videos, you might discover that, yeah, he is just a laughing stock and nothing more than a fake. The Russian Popeye. Here's another person who could have used Popeye's inspiration as a guiding light, rather than a "how can I quickly look like him" approach. Enter the Russian MMA fighter dubbed Popeye for his massive biceps, which the sailor man himself would cringe at being compared to. He too turned to injections in his arms, nearly costing him both limbs. Doctors warned him that failing to remove the implants could lead to death or amputation of both arms. He opted for surgery, having 6 liters of Vaseline removed from his arms. Who injects that much just for big arms? None of us here have the largest arms, and working out hasn't always helped me achieve my muscle goals. But that doesn't mean I would resort to something like that. Post-surgery, the doctor explained that the petroleum jelly he injected had spread into his muscles, killing them. Not only did it give his arms a fake appearance, but the implants also destroyed his muscles. It ultimately took 4 surgeries to fully remove all the damage. The Brazilian Hulk brothers. It appears that Brazilian bodybuilders have a serious obsession with the Hulk. This isn't just a one-off phenomenon. This is the second time a Brazilian bodybuilder has set his sights on achieving a physique straight out of a comic book. Working out can be a blast when you have a buddy to share the grind with. Unfortunately, the same principle applies to more dangerous pursuits. Meet Tony Giraldo and Alvaro Pereira, famously known in Rio de Janeiro as the Hulk brothers. These two have been injecting themselves with Potent B12, a potent methamphetamine-based multivitamin designed for sick horses since they were 15. This substance acts as a powerful stimulant, triggering explosive muscle growth when paired with exercise. Now in their early 50s, Tony and Alvaro claim they work out together for 4 hours a day and consume up to 6,000 calories. Yet, their social media doesn't exactly showcase impressive feats of strength, and their chests seem to have missed the memo on muscle gains. Despite their dubious regimen, they've managed to grow their biceps to 28 and 25 inches, alarming doctors who warn that their skin can't stretch much further. Man who wanted to look like a mountain. Some people hit the gym to chisel out their ideal body, whether it's to shed pounds or emulate their favorite celebrity. Arlindo's fame in Brazil comes not only from his superhuman nickname, but also from his unabashed synthol abuse. Let's be honest though, he didn't need to admit it. His grotesquely swollen calves are a dead giveaway. Ever heard of leg day, Arlindo? Clearly not. Starting his bodybuilding and synthol injection journey at the tender age of 21, Arlindo's biceps inflated to a staggering 29 inches over the years. Now, at nearly 50s, he's fighting with the dire consequences of years of oil pumping. Doctors have refused to operate on him unless it's a life or death situation, a harsh reality check after his friend Paulinho died from synthol complications. Although Arlindo claims to have stopped using synthol, the irreversible damage is done. And just like that, croissants will never look the same again. The real-life Hulk. Meet the real-life Hulk who thought injecting himself with oil and alcohol was a brilliant idea. Brazilian bodybuilder Romário dos Santos Alves. His addiction to synthol, a wild cocktail of oil and alcohol injections, turned his muscles into balloons and nearly cost him his life. This muscle-mad journey began when Romário was just 22. His gym buddies suggested he try synthol, and before he knew it, he was hooked. If you take it once, definitely there will be a second time. It's addictive, he confessed. His biceps ballooned to a mind-boggling 63 centimeters, but it wasn't all glory and gains. The addiction turned life-threatening, leading Romário down a dark path. Feeling like a freak show and depressed by the stairs, he even attempted suicide while his wife was 6 months pregnant. He ended up in the hospital for depression just before his son was born. The synthol injections caused rock-hard buildups in his muscles, making each jab more painful than the last. I had to buy specialist needles used on bulls. No stronger needles exist, he said. The reactions he got from people ranged from admiration to downright horror, with kids often running away in fear. Eventually, Romário was in constant pain and sought medical help. The doctors initially considered amputating both of his arms due to the rock-like masses in his muscles. I remember the doctor telling me they'd have to amputate both arms. All my muscles were rock, he recalled. Thankfully, the docs managed to remove the synthol deposits without resorting to amputation. But it wasn't just his muscles that were in danger. The toxins in the oil nearly shut down his kidneys. Now, Romario warns others about the perils of synthol. Valdir Segato. Meet Valdir Segato, a construction worker from Sao Paulo, Brazil, who wanted to be like his hero, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Having a bodybuilder as a role model is understandable, despite Arnold's controversial past. Many are inspired by their ripped physique and work hard to achieve similar goals. However, Segato took a different and dangerous route to achieve that look. Segato was already a formidable weightlifter before he started the risky synthol injections in 2013, but his biceps ballooned to a watermelon-sized 23 inches after he began pumping himself with that lethal chemical cocktail in his chest, biceps, and shoulders. If that sounds like a bad idea, well, it definitely is. He was injecting something unnatural into his body to bulk up his arms, and they definitely didn't look natural as a result. Synthol, a mix of oil, benzyl alcohol, and lidocaine, is used by overzealous gym rats and aspiring models to enhance their muscles. Doctors warn that this unregulated substance can cause nerve damage, infections, ulcers, and strokes, and even lead to amputation and death. Martin Ford. Martin Ford was a young dude who thought he had his life all mapped out. His dream was to go pro in cricket, and he had all the ducks in a row to make it happen. But then, injuries threw a spanner in the works, and that's when he pivoted to bodybuilding, a move that ended up saving his bacon. After his cricket dreams got knocked out due to injuries and bad luck, and with his passion for the game fading fast, Martin found himself in a funk, desperately searching for a new gig. Deep down, he knew he had the goods to shine and needed to find his hustle. Fast forward to today, and Martin is globe-trotting with fitness, having starred in 2 flicks and 3 more already lined up. On top of that, he runs 3 booming businesses. Not everyone may dig his eye-popping physique, but he built it naturally, and that should shut down any haters. Mustafa Ismail. Massachusetts-based bodybuilder Mustafa Ismail once held the Guinness World Record for the largest arm circumference. His upper arms measured a staggering 31 inches, larger than some folks' waists. However, Guinness eventually stopped accepting claims for arm sizes due to too many variables, which meant debates raged on. Some athletes bulked up naturally, while others opted for the quick fix of injecting synthol. Ismail, dubbed the Egyptian Popeye, insisted his enormous arms were purely the result of genetics, diet, and a hardcore workout regimen. Despite his claims, many in the fitness world suspected synthol played a role in his massive arm size. His 31-inch guns were undeniably eye-catching and larger than life, fueling controversy around his record. Tragic story of Dean Warmby. Next up is a story that starts off sounding fairly ordinary, but quickly turns into a tragic tale of going too far in pursuit of strength. If you're a sports fan, you know that nearly every respected sports league bans steroids. While some substances can naturally bulk you up quickly, steroids in small doses aren't usually fatal or immediately harmful to the body. Doctors even prescribe them in safe amounts for certain medical conditions. The real trouble starts when people abuse them to get bigger, which can lead to serious health issues. Dean Warmby, a hardcore fitness enthusiast, had been juicing on steroids for years. He ended up with liver cancer directly linked to the drugs, which tragically led to his untimely death. His partner, Charlotte Rigby, suspected he was on steroids when they first met due to his ripped physique. She noted that he tried to quit after they got together. To his credit, he did stop using steroids and switched to more natural methods, but the damage had already been done. His body before and after he stopped using steroids looked like two different people altogether. As we conclude, let's remember the sobering truth behind quick fixes. They often come with hefty costs, both physical and emotional. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this coming your way. Which one of these fake muscle fiascos shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, goodbye. Next time